product review. This one from Proline Racing. This is the Proline B5 carbon fiber shock tower. So first of all, let's go ahead and open this up. I'm really impressed with the build quality. If you look at it from the top, the amount of layers that's in this is just, it's something you would find on a four-wheel drive short course truck, not a two-wheel drive buggy. But with that being said, let's turn it over. They did tool down about half of that so that it will fit on the B5 itself. They also included, Proline's great at packaging. Their packaging is always out of this world. They included the ball stud support pieces that actually go on. They fit using a screw in the back, but they fit amazingly well. That hasn't got a screw in it. It's just in there and it's not falling out. So it seems like it's going to be a nice snug fit. They did include six screws with this. That is one to go in the back of this to hold it on, and then the 4 screws that you will use to reattach this shock tower to the front of the B5. So I was going to go through and show you guys how to seal this. I think I'm going to make that a separate video because I am carpet racing this weekend, so this won't get dirty or muddy or anything like that. So let's go out to the garage. I'm going to show you how to install this. Then I'm going to shoot a little GoPro footage this weekend at the carpet track to see this thing in action. So let's go to the garage, put this on, and see how it fits and see how the car feels after we've installed it. Be right back. These are the items that you will need to complete the repair: a 2mm wrench, a 1.5mm wrench, a 5.5mm nut driver, thread lock, and a pair of pliers. This will be your finished product, and as you can see, it's looks quite nice on the car. So this is the carbon fiber shock tower, and it will mount up here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your little ball stud knuckle and you're going to put it on here just like this. Okay, and there's 3 holes in this right here. So you're going to put, there's 2 nubs, so put it in there like that, and you're going to put your screw in here. Let's do the same for this side. Be sure to use thread lock for this, because if you don't, the screws will back out. Okay, now you want to do this to both sides. The orientation of this, if you'll look at the old shock tower compared to the new carbon fiber shock tower, you'll see the orientation of this. So it needs to be like this, where the larger section is toward the inside. That'll match up with the shock tower. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a 2mm. Proline made this really easy. Both use a 2mm. So we're going to take 2mm and take these 4 screws out, along with the 2 top screws that will release the shock, and that will get us into a new shock tower. So let's go ahead and start with that. Just like that. Okay, so now we're going to take 5.5 and we're going to hold the back, and we're going to take the top 2 out first. That'll probably be the easiest. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of these off. Go ahead and remove this other one and remove the nut from the back. And you can't really see, but what I'm doing is I'm taking this screw out, but there's a nut on the back of it that'll need to be removed. Okay, so there's the little nut that needs to be removed, and there is the screw that needs to be removed. I have mine set to the factory default, or the book stock, if you will. So I have a 1mm washer underneath my ball stud. I'm going to try to keep with it, just for ease of use. Make sure I can out of the way so you guys can see. Fortunately, I'm not left-handed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove these 4 screws right here in the front. Now the screws that come with the kit, with the Proline kit, are shorter than the screws that come with the associated kit. There's a size difference. That's because this shock tower is actually, the associated shock tower is actually a little thicker than the carbon fiber shock tower, because it has been milled down to fit this car. Be sure to hang on to your screws in case you want to swap this back out later. I'm not sure why you would want to, because the carbon fiber shock tower just looks incredible. I don't know what kind of performance difference there will be, but if there is one, I will let you guys know after my race this weekend. Okay, so now that we've removed these 4 screws, we're just going to take that shock tower and take it right off. So there's the old shock tower, and here is the new Proline carbon fiber shock tower. Man, that looks really good on there. So let's go ahead and take the 2mm Proline screws that are included in the kit, and let's put this bad boy on. Let's see what it actually looks like on the car. Okay, be sure to tighten the screws counter across diagonally from each other. That just helps with any kind of warpage that may happen or anything like that. Makes the carbon fiber, I think, a little bit stronger. You know, I've had some people tell me it doesn't matter, but it's just like putting a tire on a car. The old shock tower, with it being plastic, it didn't really matter. With the new shock tower being carbon fiber, it matters about your ball studs. So you're gonna want to put just a little bit of Loctite. Again, just standard, you know, blue thread Loctite here and here. So let me go ahead and get my first one done. Okay. Now I did have you B5 fanatics out there. Y'all are gonna look at it and be like, "That's a B5, and you've got the gold wing arms on it." And that's true. I am swapping those back out. because I'm using the shock tower. I did it to gain some steering on an indoor track. It seemed to be pretty good at the time. Wow, that looks really good. So let's go ahead and take this ball stud here, and we're going to put it back here. So let's go ahead and put our thread lock on here. You don't need much. A little goes a long way with this. I am going to put my 1mm washer back under there, just because that's the way I had it set up before. Now let's see, I'm a little curious to see how this shock mount screw fits in the new carbon fiber. A lot of times they're just tight. They're hard to get in the carbon fiber. They squeak. Wow, that was actually really nice. I'm not having to cut threads in this at all. They just slid right in. That's some great quality. I'm going to go ahead and put the nut on the back here, just because it makes me feel better. These are too long to really get a socket on, so I just use a pair of pliers. It doesn't take much. You just want to hold that screw into place on the back. Now, while I'm doing this, I did want to make a setup change, so I am moving my shock mount to the inside hole instead of the middle hole. Okay, so the shock tower is installed. Let's put the shocks back on. I know this is a kind of the boring part of this video, but bear with me. I'll get these back on and we'll be finished up. So make sure put your shock back on here on the back side. Your shock bushing, put it back on. Slide that shock back into place. Put you a screw on. Trying to do it to where you guys can see. All right, so 5.5mm on the back to hold that screw into place, and that's actually going to be too tight to use anything else other than the 5.5mm driver that came with it, which is good. So it's getting a good view of my car here. Okay, so that's the shock tower mount, so to speak. The screws, see how they're a little bit longer now than they were. Okay, and so here's the way the new front shock tower looks on the car compared to, you know, the old one that was on the car. This is definitely a better upgrade, a bigger upgrade. So I'm really stoked to see how this thing works out, and I'll let you know after my first race this weekend what I think of the Proline carbon fiber shock tower for the B5. This has been Dep Destruct. I do appreciate it. Let's wrap up this B5 carbon fiber shock tower. First of all, let me get the car that's fresh back from the race this weekend. I hate to say that this is a cosmetic upgrade, but really, I mean, just look at it. It looks cool. So, as far as the competitive advantage of this shock tower, I can't see a distinct, like I can't say this is better than the one that come on the car or anything like that. I will say that I do like the way the ball cup, the ball studs mount. It is metal on metal, so if you happen to snap one, it's metal on metal, Loctite. It's real hard to get the screw back out of that. So keep that in mind. Other than that, though, it's a great shock tower. Like I said, I hate to say that it's a cosmetic upgrade, but really, it's kind of a cosmetic upgrade. It's a great shock tower. Don't get me wrong. It's a great shock tower. It's built well, but it just looks pretty. And that's, in RC, I mean, we do a lot of stuff to make our rides look pretty. So if you've got the extra money to throw at the shock tower, I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a great upgrade. It looks really good. Performance on it is really good. It's as good as the shock tower that came on the car. Without running this for, say, 6 months or so, I can't tell you if it was better. But who knows? Maybe in 6 months I'll come back and do another video and tell you, hey, this is the best thing since sliced cheese. So, with that being said, this is the Proline B5 shock tower. And like I said, if you got the extra money, definite great upgrade. Go get it. If you've liked this video, click subscribe down below. Give me a thumbs up. Till next time, Destruct. See you later.